about to be offended. Let's get it.
A large number of the jokes in most of our popular magazines where they print cartoons have to do with father as a clown, whereas mom has to handle the real problems of the family and is therefore the realist in the picture. Dad is a clown. Why? Because he goes away to a mysterious place called the office or the factory, in which the family as such have no part and no real interest. He brings back a thing called money, and they want more of it, see, back at home. They don't care how you get it, just so long as you bring it back, because they're not interested in what you as a man do. And when you come back from the various rat races in which you are engaged making money, you're supposed to be a good pal to the children. Play with them, look after your wife, and appreciate what she's done all during the day. But they have no interest in what you do. They couldn't care less. And furthermore, you as a father, you as a mother, are expected to live for your children. Americans have an enormous sense of guilt because they have not done right by their children. And they're trying more and more to do right by their children. The difficulty is that the family as an institution is not surviving in industrial culture. It is an institution designed for an agrarian culture. A large number of the jokes.
Okay. So that was quite serious, but I want to break this video down too, just real quick. I want to break this video down.
In most of our popular magazines where they print cartoons have to do with father as a clown.
Okay, so I want that to just think about The Simpsons, think about Family Guy, think about what's the other one? Think about Bluey. Think about anytime you see like the father in the household, for especially on a big level when it comes to the most popular things, the most things that are pushed the most, that the things that do best. Anytime it's dealing with the family structure, it's always set up like this. So psychologically, it's like it is putting a narrative out there on the subconscious level that the man is like this in a household, regardless if it is or it is not actually what people are experiencing. The narrative that's being pushed out there on a psychological level is this. So you feel me? Really peep this. Really peep what we finna unpack. Peep what he talking about.
Whereas mom has to handle the real problems of the family and is.
Okay, so switching back over, mom is the one who's taking things serious. Mom is the one who is, dealing with the issues. Mom is the one who's dealing with stuff. And this is usually how it goes. Okay, again, think about The Simpsons. Think about Family Guy. Think about Bluey. Think about all of these kind of shows. Even let me see, like even when you think of like The Incredibles, you think anytime you think about the family structure, it's always going to have this kind of dynamics. And you also see that a lot of women are moving into more positions of power because it's this is one of those things of what comes first, the chicken or the egg. The egg could be them actually doing that, or it could not be that. The egg could be the on a cosmic level, this divine feminine energy is coming back in. That's the egg. Which came first, or it's the chicken. I don't know. But let's keep it going.
Is therefore the realist in the picture. Dad is a clown. Why? Because he goes away to a mysterious place called the office or the factory.
Okay, so you got to remember the office of the factory. This is really more prior 2015, definitely 2020, you feel me? Because the office was at home or a lot of remote positions. But before, for the family structure, it was the factory or it was the office. This is what it was for the early 2000s and what it was, you feel me, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. Because the 70s and 80s, it was that switch to manufacturer in the factories. But that was it was before the computers started getting more popping and people was really making that switch to office for corporate. It was the factory work. The factory work was, where most of the men was, and this what the narrative was. The man was gone all day, and most of the time, if you're talking about for like the good part of the 60s and the 70s, that was the case. Unless it wasn't a man in the house, then the mom was doing these things. And it's a similar thing, but right now, because it was more taboo for the mom to be in the work industry, then they weren't taxing women yet. Now it's you kind of seeing the shift of mom handling the business and doing the both, and he's gonna talk about that too towards the end.
in which the family as such have no part and no real interest. It brings back a thing called money, and they want more of it, see?
Peep the spell of money. So many people are doing so much for money, like just for money, and this is why the dad is a fool. Not per he. Most men aren't really focused on bringing any type of other value, just financial. They just the funds, the paper. But it goes so much more into the family structure than just financial, and not even the financial because you're not even dealing with investing. You dealing with, you feel me, different types of saving. You and dealing with, diversifying your funds. You feel me, even into different types of economies and different type of assets. You only dealing with getting the money, the paper dollar bill, not silver, not gold, not cryptocurrency, not land. You feel me, not assets, but just the paper. You feel me, and it's a monopoly money. This is what they have everybody on, and it's switching to even to where they want women like this. They want women to be focused on just the paper, not the assets, not the skills, not these other things that's generating real generational wealth that you could pass on, but just the funds, and the money is funny, especially right now.
Back at home. They don't care how you get it, just so long as you bring it back, because they're not interested in what you as a man do. And when you come back from the various rat races in which you are engaged,
The rat races.
making money, you're supposed to be a good pal to the children. Play with them, look after your wife, and appreciate what she's done all during the day.
That's all what you're supposed to be doing, but it's so much more into that. And this is important because this is the narrative that they pushing. You feel me? But you have to be so much more than all of that. You got to be good mentally. You got to be good physically. You got to be good spiritually, financially, socially, you psychologically. You got to be good in these other areas, because it's so serious right now. But it also adds more value than just the paper money.
But they have no interest in what you do. They couldn't care less. And furthermore, you as a father, you as a mother, are expected to live for your children.
That's big right there.
Americans have a
For a lot of women especially, like they expect, you feel me, like everything you do is supposed to be for your children, when that's not the case. You got to do, it's supposed to be everything is for yourself and with your children. You feel me? Because you got to remember, they going to grow up, they got their own individual paths that they got to walk, and you still have to live your life. You get what I mean?
an enormous sense of guilt because they have not done right by their children.
Enormous, enormous self guilt.
And they're trying more and more to do right by their children. The difficulty is that the family as an institution is not surviving in industrial culture.
It's not surviving right now. There's an attack on the family structure, and the finances is actually it's a play as a part, but it's not the only thing.
It's an institution designed for an agrarian culture. A large
Okay, so I thought that was interesting. Now I got something to go with this, and this is what the father, you provide that structure, you provide that, you feel me, that foundation. The women are the soil, the men plant the seed. The seed is made up of us. What are we putting our time into? What are we working on? Like how are you physically? You feel me? Are you healthy? How are you eating? Your diet? Do you work out? Are you in the gym? Are you doing some type of extra physical activity? What are you mentally? Are you studying? Are you good mentally? How's your mind? Do you have control over your emotions? How to process thoughts? How to communicate with people and connect with people? On multiple different levels. Are you stuck in the area where your passions, not even your passions, but your vices control you? Like you just woo off your emotions. Your emotions control you. You don't got control of your emotions. It's on men, you feel me, to start really doing these things because you put that into that seed. You get what I mean? You got to build yourself up in every area, and you put that into that seed and you pass it on. The woman is the soil that nurtures that seed. You get what I mean? But when it comes to that, you gotta put the right amount of minerals in the soil. You get what I mean? You gotta take care of the soil. If you don't take care of the soil is gonna fuck up your seed, like for real. So when it comes to economics, when it comes to, you feel me, your diet, you being healthy, when it comes to spirituality, or you feel me, you having a higher sense of things, you know, when it comes to your being social, picking with the right crowd, when it comes to, you know, all these different things, even spending habits, you are putting it into your woman or your women, whichever one you doing, you are putting it into them, you know, and they put it into your children. It's already gonna be there because it's in your genetics, it's in your DNA. But when the soil is right too, it ain't got it's no man. It's you got a way better chances of succeeding. Now you just got to deal with the environment, putting it in the right environment, and that includes the area you in. You feel me? Your family, the people who come around your seed. You get what I mean? That I hope this is making sense, but this is a good one. I like Usher right here. Usher finna say some real shit.
That a man gave me that didn't stick around because he didn't love me. Or at least that was my perception of it. Because I had to live long enough in order to understand that you have to have a forgiving heart in order to understand the true pitfalls and hardships of a black man in America. And my father, he was a product of that. He made a lot of...
Man, you gotta understand it. You really gotta understand, you feel me, the game that has been played and make a difference. And it's not just, you feel me, on us, the melanated or so-called black man, but we definitely the foundation of it. But they on everybody the same way. It's an attack on all men. It's an attack on family. It's an attack on women. You get my name? And it's a big attack on children right now. So really pay attention.
Decisions. He made a lot of choices, and the one that probably hurt and helped me at the same time was to stay away. But that's part of the reason why I say this is the year of the father, where all the fathers got to stand up for their sons and daughters.
Hey, real talk, for real. Stand up for your seeds. Stand up for your family. Stand up for your women.
They say success has a million fathers. Well, I start with these guys right here.
That's right.
My village, these are the men who motivate me, who speak to me, who have spoken to me, who have been solid no matter how fucked up it may have been. I'm sorry, I'm cursing this, you know how I really feel. Because at one point it got really thick. The motherfuckers wasn't fucking with me.
Come on. Tell true. Tell true.
I understand.
Hey, oh man, damn, I gotta go back to it. I ain't never heard Usher speak like that. I ain't never heard him speak like that. So this is period. I ain't never heard Usher cussing like all of my life. I don't think I like that. So I feel like this is a brief openness.
In order to understand the true pitfalls and hardships of a black man in America. And my father, he was a product of that. He made a lot of decisions. He made a lot of choices, and the one that probably hurt and helped me at the same time was to stay away. But that's part of the reason why I say this is the year of the father, where all the fathers got to stand up for their sons and daughters and be a man. They say success has a million fathers. Well, I start with these guys right here.
That's right.
My village, these are the men who motivate me, who speak to me, who have spoken to me, who have been solid no matter how fucked up it may have been. I'm sorry, I'm cursing this, you know how I really feel. Because at one point it got really thick. The motherfuckers wasn't fucking with me.
Come on. Tell true. Tell true.
I understand. Sometimes you gotta go through some shit to get to something.
Yeah. Like a man.
I'ma tell you, they solid. And it ain't about a motherfucking hit record.
Come on.
They solid, they gonna always have my back, and I'm gonna always have theirs. Now, Somebody asked me a question about ego and this idea of having an ego. Could you be so confident that you could come to L.A. Reid's office at 12 or 13 years old and say, you meeting your next superstar, and I'm going to take that space on the wall right there. You're going to put my picture up there. No, that wasn't ego speaking. I rebranded that word that day. I expressed goals out loud.
There we go.
I know it's an L in there, but fuck it. And the reality is, you have to express your goals outwardly. No matter what people may see, no matter what they may feel, no matter how dark it is, no matter how complicated it may be. Because that's the only way that it will ever become a reality. You have to see it first. You have to then move in action and decide that this is what I will do, this is what I'm committed to. And you're going to have a cast of people who are going to be with you, and you're going to have a cast of people who are going to hate you.
Yeah. Come on.
So long as you stay connected to what you feel, what you love, what you're committed to, something major will happen and God will show up.
Yes, he will.
So, now,
Come on, man.
I can practice.
All right, so look, y'all gotta be peeping between the lines as far as filling the words. Don't get so caught up on the words that he using. Pay attention to more of the feelings behind the words and what's the recipe he giving. You get what I mean? Because we all know these celebs is, we know they work for the ops. We know, you feel me, how deep they is in it. We know all these other things, but regardless, they still give out gems every now and then, a representation of what is actually happening. You feel me? Just like same thing with entertainment, with the movies, and you feel me, with the shows, and they give gems, but you got to be able to put them together and peep what it is yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to play that, man. Y'all go check out the rest of the speech. It wasn't too bad, but they didn't have it on there. Shout out to Orion's 44 Oracle. He had this up. I thought this was pretty on point. But yeah, it's the year of the father, man. You feel me? You gotta be on point. Gotta really, 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 man, put the family back together. Put the family back together. All right, y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one.